stories fade with time, buried beneath silence, lost in forgotten files, or dismissed as mysteries that will never be solved. But behind every case is a voice that was never heard, a truth still waiting in the dark. This channel is dedicated to the victims, the unanswered questions, and the stories that refuse to disappear. Because somewhere, someone still knows what happened. Welcome to Cries, Unheard in the Darkness. June 25th, 2005, Muskegon, Michigan. It was a warm summer night, the kind meant for bonfires and beer. 22-year-old Todd Geib was doing exactly what any young man his age would do. He was at an orchard party, socializing with friends under the open sky. But sometime that night, Todd walked away from the music and the laughter. He made several phone calls, his voice sounding disoriented. In his final call to a friend, he uttered 4 words that would haunt his family for decades. "I'm in a field." Then the line went dead. Todd Geib vanished into the Michigan night. What followed was a 22-day search that ended at a private lake, and a discovery so biologically impossible that it challenged everything investigators thought they knew. Todd started his evening at the Caz Bar, a local spot where the bartender described him as very nice. From there, he headed to the orchard party. By all accounts, Todd wasn't a heavy drug user. The bartender noted that in 2005, the local scene was about drinking, not drugs. When Todd went missing, scent dogs were brought in. They followed his trail down a road toward a nearby lake, but then the scent stopped abruptly, as if he had stepped off the face of the earth or into a vehicle. 22 days later, the search ended. A fisherman found Todd in a private lake not far from the party. The police theory was simple. Todd was drunk, wandered into the woods, fell into the lake, and drowned. Case closed. But for Todd's mother, Kathy Geib, and a team of retired NYPD detectives, the accidental drowning theory didn't just feel wrong, it felt impossible. When a body spends 3 weeks in a lake during a Michigan summer, nature takes its course. Decomposition is usually rapid. Insects, fish, and bacteria begin their work within hours. But when Todd was pulled from the water, the scene looked like something out of a staged movie. Todd wasn't bloated or floating face down. He was found floating upright, with his head and shoulders above the water, almost as if he were treading water or swimming. Despite being missing for 22 days, his body showed minimal decomposition, the equivalent of being dead for only 2 to 3 days. Forensic experts noted that a body in a lake for 3 weeks should be covered in slime or algal biofilm. Todd's clothing was fairly clean. There was no sand, no debris, and most shockingly, no insect activity. How does a man stay missing for 3 weeks, only to appear in a lake with the body of someone who died 48 hours ago? The math didn't add up. Forensic studies on pigs, the closest equivalent to human decomposition, show that after 21 days in that environment, a body should be nearly destroyed. Todd looked like he had just gone for a swim. The physical evidence was strange, but the chemistry was even stranger. The autopsy revealed alcohol in Todd's system, which was expected, but it also found high levels of 2 prescription antidepressants. Here's the catch. Todd didn't suffer from depression. He didn't have a prescription for these drugs, and according to pharmacists, these 2 specific medications are almost never prescribed together because they can cause severe confusion, agitation, and hallucinations. They are, however, easy to slip into a drink. Investigators Kevin Gannon and Dr. Lee Gilbertson believe Todd was incapacitated by these drugs, abducted, and held on land for over 2 weeks before being murdered and placed in the lake just days before he was found. Eventually, the case caught the attention of investigators exploring the Smiley face killer theory. This theory suggests a network of individuals targets college-aged men, drugs them at bars or parties, holds them, and later dumps them in waterways. The alleged calling card. A graffiti smiley face left near the site. In Todd's case, the chilling details didn't stop there. A smiley face was found near the water where he was discovered. Even more unsettling, another smiley face was later found on Todd's own gravestone. The more you look at the Geib case, the more the accidental ruling begins to crumble. A neighbor pointed out that to reach the lake where he allegedly wandered, Todd would have had to walk through dense, thorn-covered brush. Yet, his body had no scratches. The boat belonging to the man who found Todd had been mysteriously moved to the other side of the lake the night before, filled with empty beer cans. And police never interviewed the man who found the body, nor the owner of the land where the party was held. Today, Todd's mother, Kathy, and her legal team continue to push the Muskegon County prosecutor to reopen the case. They aren't looking for an accidental drowning ruling anymore. They are looking for the truth. Where was Todd for those 19 days he was missing, but not yet dead? Was Todd a victim of a tragic accident, or a pawn in something far darker? Until the case is reopened, the man in the lake remains a ghost in the machinery of the American justice system. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact the Michigan State Police. Thank you for listening to Cries, Unheard in the Darkness. If this story stayed with you, you're not alone. Like and subscribe, because the darkness always has more to say. Until next time, listen carefully,